Hello and welcome to another episode of Diary of a Coin Dealer. This was meant to go out yesterday. There are reasons why it didn't go out yesterday, including the day from hell. And also it gives me a bit more to kind of put in the video, I guess, so it's not all bad. I was going to start the video by saying like what my day looked like in terms of how I trade across the month. And then yesterday kind of threw a spanner in the works because I did nothing but firefight yesterday. I won some lots from auction. Auction takes a lot of time out of my day because I've got to find the right type of auctions. Any of you who watch my videos knows that I do quite a lot of auctions. Sometimes I come away with some really juicy bits and sometimes I come away with nothing. That's just part and parcel of buying an auction, but it takes a lot of time to go through the lots to see where the potential is, and sometimes it's a bit of guesswork. You're trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together without knowing what the picture is. I've bought stuff that in my head I'm thinking, I can't see the picture that well, but that means other people can't see the picture that well. I don't know if it's a good coin or a bad coin, but then bam, it's a CPM coin. CPM are renowned for buying coins that are good from reliable sources, putting them in their own packaging and then selling them. So I remember I bought a $20 St. Gordon's a while back. I knew it was a good coin. Didn't see any pictures on it. The pictures are absolute trash. But no one else bid on it. So I got it super cheap. I think I flipped it for £200 profit and it went to a dealer. Another dealer bought it. This does happen. You kind of got to fill in the gaps yourself. And sometimes you take a small hit. Remember, it's about mitigating risk. So you look at the downside of the coin in its worst condition, and sometimes you make a big win. And I've made some really big wins at auction compared to my typical day-to-day trading activities, where I make a little but a lot of the time, which I don't mind. It keeps me busy. I've got no problem working through the lower margin stuff. I just like to see the big ticket coins occasionally. So yeah, I won some lots at auction, and then I got an email from the auction. So bear in mind it was about £10,500 worth of coins. That's a lot of money for me, especially for cash flow. So if I've got 10 and a half out of play, I've then got to look at what's in the coffers to see where else I can buy, because I've still got to buy other things. Other people are going to offer me things, which they have in the meantime. And I've got to then either negotiate or say, can you push it back, or can I pay you? If they come in, I'll pay you, say, 25%, and then I'll pay you the rest once I have it. Now, I can do that because I've been around the block a long time. People know me. They know I'm good for my word, and I will never screw anyone out of money, because money, well, firstly, money isn't my poison. Secondly, I don't need to. And thirdly, it's just a really shit thing to do. That probably should be point number one. But so yeah, this auction, I bought a fairly substantial amount for me, and I got a message from the auction lot saying we're going to have to cancel a number of your lots. So I got on the phone yesterday. Bear in mind, I had no sleep. I didn't get sleep till about midday yesterday because I was working on my accounts, and I'm not a good sleeper, as most of you know. They said, yeah, we've got to cancel something. So I said, what do you have to cancel? Because there's one coin I've already sold. And one coin I already sold, they cancelled on. I go back to the person who bought from me. I'm really sorry. I've been screwed on this. So this has come from an auction house. This has never happened in the time I've actually been a dealer. I can only offer my apologies and give you a refund. So I refunded him straight away. I think he was pretty pissed off. I think he was just as annoyed as I was. But yeah, he said it is what it is. And unfortunately, sometimes that is the case. So the auction house, I phoned them up saying, I need the money back ASAP and I need the stock because I'm a very small company compared to a lot of the peers you will work with. And they're like, oh, we send it out in check. And I said, no, I'm not having a check. I don't have the time to have a check. I need it in backs. I've got orders on the go. Now, you could argue, for those who are watching, you should have a bigger cash pot. The problem I've been having is because I'm at the end of my tax year, I've been taking money out as dividends. You could say, well, why don't you use those dividends to put back in as a director loan? To which my response is, because I've been buying other assets with them. And I hadn't foreseen this problem. So I've literally taken the money out and put part of the money elsewhere into other assets, which I can't exactly just liquidate. Well, I could, but I just wouldn't get the price that I need or want on them. So yeah, going back to the auction, I get a phone call today, and they told me the backstory. So someone more in the know spoke to me, and they said, well, the guy had 7 figures worth of lots, and on the last hour, he just turned around and said, I've raised. He emailed them. I've raised the reserve on a lot of bits. And the auction house turned around and said, well, usually we'd take it on the chin. It has happened in the past, and we just take the loss ourselves. But it was such an obscene amount of money that he raised it that it just wasn't possible. We're talking several thousand, 5 figures. And I can't say I blame them. I am pretty annoyed about it, but that is what it is. So yeah, that's been my day yesterday. That's why you didn't get a video, because I was trying to sort this out and I was half asleep. So typically on my day, I would wake up late, because I usually get up around midday. I'm a night person. I get most of my work done. I tend to go to bed around 3ish, 4ish on some occasions. But I'll get up and I'll spend the first few hours either packing, if I haven't packed the night before, or looking for stock. A lot of my time, I'll work a lot of hours, but a lot of my time comes up with nothing. It's a bit like, say you were going out gold panning, because it's kind of relevant to what I do. You're going to spend a lot of time finding absolutely nothing, and that's the same in my case. And then something big might come in, or I might be able to source something, or I see an auction or something down the town, and I'm like, yep, I can make money on that. And so I spent a lot of hours and maybe made a little. But then I've got the other sources coming in. So I've got my supplier network, and they're just ping me lines. A lot of my time will be spent collecting stock from them, or potentially seeing clients who want to come down and speak face to face. I try to limit that. You got to protect your risk. I always take them to a place that's not related to here, just to cover me. But I prefer dealing online. I guess where I'm a millennial, maybe that's why I see the world that way. So yeah, I'll go through, and then from I'll do my post run. That's usually done between 3 to 5. Sometimes it's done earlier. Sometimes, it's not done whatsoever. I'll bundle it up. And then from 6 to pretty much 10, I'm trying to sell. So most of my day it's consumed by this job. It's not a case of I work set hours. I remember I've had weeks where I've worked 100 hours, but it's kind of like I work on standby for most of my time. It's not physically challenging or anything like that. It's mentally challenging, but it's something that you can sit around and twiddle your thumbs and not do a lot, and then bam, you get like a 25k collection coming, and that's going to take time. That would take a week to work through, and that's a lot of energy and a lot of effort, and it's a lot of dealing with old sources, tapping up the market to see who's interested in what, and trying to move it along. Now, that last collection I bought in, some of it is at a loss. That's okay, but I've made what I needed out of it, so it's not a problem. But yeah, after selling, I do a bit of books, I do a bit of packing, depending on how I feel. And then that usually leads me to about 2 or 3 in the morning, which that's okay. I understand that to make the big money, you've got to put the big hours in. It's not always going to be like that. I know I want to get out this game. I've said it many, many times. But it's a compromise I'm willing to make, at least for the time being, until I get to where I want to be. Now, the standard day is fine. I'm also going to have to deal with things that go wrong, such as the auction house. I had a gentleman, I sent him a sovereign. He said, I don't believe this sovereign is real. It was a case of he bought a load of gear to check the calipers and stuff like that. And the sovereign, I said, send it back. I couldn't remember what I sent him. I knew it come from a professional who sold it to me. And yeah, he sent it back, and I was like, nah, this isn't fake, not a chance. But I sent it to a contact of mine who's got an XRF, and they're like, yeah, not a problem. What it was, he used the calipers, and there was one side was thicker than the other in terms of the rim, so it just been misstruck slightly. Not a problem. But I compared it to another coin I had, and I was like, not a chance. But yeah, I have issues like that. They do come up occasionally. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to sign it off because I'm gonna run out of video time. But I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.